This morning we're testing out a mechanical OM606 engine that's going to the USA. You all know what a 606 engine is. It's a 6-cylinder, 3-litre Mercedes diesel engine, fully mechanical, there's no ECUs. These are one of the best engines ever built. You've got to take a look at the cam chains in these engines to understand why this is so much better than an M57. And I like the M57. Now, for many years we've been building these engines and doing testing and things with our roller dyno, which has been quite successful. However, as time's gone on, it's become more difficult to be able to do engines in a timely manner doing it in that method. So 12 months ago I bit the bullet and bought a Superflow Black Widow 3,500 horsepower capable engine dyno. Well, we certainly aren't going to be putting that dyno to the test today with this engine. So this one's actually been spec'd for a Landrover that's going over to the USA. It's been built in America. So it has our very own designed and made rear sump system, our 275 horsepower pump. This is the pump that gives the best drivability, smoothest drive, and generally the nicest all-rounder for like a daily usage platform. We've got our billet fuel filter housing that's on there. That's our proprietary design. It's interesting, this design here, it had been years people building these engines and no one ever considered a billet filter housing. And it was so, what's the word? It was so inspiring that a company copied it nearly straight away. It doesn't look like ours, it looks like arse. It's exciting for me to think that someone was inspired that much that they would copy it so quickly. So well done to those guys for watching closely. Billet alternator bracket, it's a high mount, so it gets everything up and out of the way for a right-hand drive Land Rover specifically. This is our V3 hybrid turbo that's on here. It has the option to be water cooled, ceramic coated housing, and this beautiful billet section that helps to clear the alternator, the turbo intake pipe. And then that's topped off with something that I think is quite important, our Land Rover airbox. So the airbox itself, it has this ceramic coated plate on the underneath which shields the airbox and the air intake system from the heat of the turbocharger. Air that's coming into the airbox is then ducted into the wing of a Land Rover that would just normally be here. So the engine gets fed constantly with nice cool air. It's got some upgraded valve springs and it has our newest injectors, which are something pretty special, but we're not ready to go into that too much yet. We better get this thing started up and see how it performs. We need to do a little bit of a running cycle and then do some power runs. It's not going to blow the doors off, but I am excited nevertheless.
So what we're going to do? Couple of like water, maybe half throttle pulse to start with.
Yeah.
3.5. Make sure it's all good, no leaks, anything like that, and then turn up with it.
Tiny little pull, what did we get? Ooh, big numbers. 17 braking running horsepower.
Yeah. Just for 11 psi.
Ooh, 11 psi boost at 70 horsepower. If you're wondering what the little bit of smoke is, the breather system, it comes down just into a temporary tank and then it comes back up, but we feed it just into the air inlet just to keep it smelling nice in the workshop. Right, let's do another little run. 4,000 maybe.
Yeah. I feel like 3.5 like.
It's not enough, is it?
Nothing.
No. coming up now. Was that part throttle or full throttle?
No, that was still part.
Oh, just part throttle.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
nice. So we've dropped the start RPM because it's making loads of torque at, well, just off 1,000 RPM. So we've just lowered the start a little bit. Right, let's do it. Half throttle again, something like that.
Yeah, we'll do the half throttle one then.
Okay.
Maybe the next one we'll give it.
A lot more power. 195 pounds-foot of torque, 148 horsepower, and that was what, half throttle?
Yeah.
Nice. Maximum of 15 psi. That's not a lot. A little bit of an inspection after a few runs just to make sure everything is tight because we don't want anything flying off. You've checked those ones, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think it's doing quite nicely so far.
Yeah, it's no leaks, no smoke, no noises.
No. And it's making power like nice and low down.
Yeah, very nice and easy.
Nice engine. No silicon on this one, Timmy. Bad Tim. Not too bad. We just clean it a little, but not bad at all.
208.
Horsepower.
Yeah. So believe it's still only doing 17 psi of boost.
Very clean. That has not even been adjusted. That is as the pump would have been sent out. That is good stuff. Clean. So we've done about 10 runs on the dyno now, making sure there's no leaks or problems. We're making sure that it's doing the right power numbers, and we're also, really importantly, running this engine in gently, just giving it a little bit of a nice braking period. So what have we found out so far? Well, let me show you. We've cleaned most of the runs off so you can just see this one. It's all over the place, apologies for the scaling. But what we've got so far is, this is at low pressure, low engine stress. We're making 210.8 horsepower and we're doing that at 4,800 RPM. This is the torque, 250 pounds-feet, so that's really nice. Look how early in the rev range that torque's coming up. So we're making 100 pounds of torque really low in the RPM range. So that's absolutely fantastic for something like a Land Rover that this is going in. Purple one is our boost pressure. You can see it's really linear. There isn't really a spike. You just see it sort of gently come up at 17.5 psi max boost, which is pretty low realistically. This turbo is capable of more than that. So if a customer had come to us, bought that pump, bought that turbo, it's pretty much clean, smoke-free. It's making 210 horsepower, 250 pounds-foot before any adjustments made, before trying to increase the turbo's pressure, which it can do, and before trying to increase the pump's fuel, which it can do. Which is fantastic, isn't it? It's a nice baseline. Someone's going to drive that and think, this is pretty good, and then chances are they're not then going to mess with it, and they're going to end up with an engine that's just reliable forever and ever because it's 210 horsepower and not squeezing every ounce out. This brown line here that you can see going a bit crazy, this is the air-fuel ratio that we're measuring. It goes up, that means lean, so less smoke, and as it goes down, rich and more smoke. The dyno starts to apply load, and that creates a little bit of smoke as the governor takes hold. And then the turbo starts to come in, starts to make a little bit of pressure, just a little bit, and it starts to lean off. And then the turbo really starts to come in then, and as that turbo really starts to come in, that's actually where it's getting up onto its wastegate. We see it rich and off because as the turbo comes in, it pushes open the alder on the side of the injector pump and lets more fuel in. So we'll usually see a little puff of smoke on that transition. So as people are on a test drive or whatever, or if they're videoing their exhaust, they'll put the foot down, they'll see an initial bit of smoke, that'll go away. Turbo will come in, and then you'll see another puff of smoke because that's the pump opening the fuel up, and then the turbo then makes more pressure and it cleans itself up. It's like a chain reaction. So then that's when we see it start to come back up and clean itself up again. It's still here. It's dark outside now, but it's running really, really well. Staying sensible. We gave it a little bit of tweak on the boost. It brought us right up to that 18:1 air fuel, so it's clean as a whistle. This is designed to be reliable, dependable unit. We're not trying to string the death out of this. Right, Paul, what have we got?
225 out of it.
Nice, nice.
Nice and respectable.
It's really quite
nice and linear.
Yeah.
Which holds good torque as well, which, you know, some people love. It's over like 240 from like 2800.
Okay.
So it's...
So we've got like nearly maximum torque before halfway in the rev range, haven't we? That's nice.
Yeah, so it'll be a really sort of nice, drivable thing, especially for this going Land Rover that will be towing stuff and all that.
Yes.
Nice.
Low down power.
So the pump itself is only a 6mm pump. It's only the, well, pretty much the smallest pump we do.
Yeah.
Which the run, very, very nice on. They're very soft running. They don't have that sort of diesel knocky. It's more like a factory kind of built.
With a little bit more on top if you want it.
Yeah. So it's...
But mechanical. All mechanical.
Yeah. So you can get sort of all that nice smoothness and reliability and stuff like that without it having to have a million sort of sensors and ECUs and all that. So you can literally just grab that, bolt it in your Land Rover.
Yes.
And away you go.
Yeah, we build pumps to suit engines that we're building. And this particular pump, because it's going in the setup it's going in, it doesn't have a particularly high rev range purposefully. And we can see that, can't we?
Yeah, we can see, if you look at the sort of pump test sheets, like it's set to start sort of tailoring the fuel off. You just start to see at the top end there, it just starts
to curl over.
Which that's what we kind of expect. And it kind of, when you're driving a car like that, it kind of makes you not want to keep revving the nuts off it.
Yes, correct. Now, special treat for you. This is time to separate the men from the boys. We've got a debate to settle. What people said in my Inlet video, which was not the last video, the video before, the Inlet should have long run as it promotes more torque. Well, we proved that that's not true because we showed the power graph throughout the whole rev range of it making more power with this Inlet. There was talk on the forums about what about with a smaller turbo, what about in a stock car, what about with stock pump size? And I resonated with all that. I thought, yeah, that's a really sensible suggestion. Maybe the factory Inlet really promotes power with stock size turbos, stock size pumps. Well, guess what we've got on the dyno today? A hybrid, which is practically a stockish size turbo. Yeah, it can make a little bit more. 6mm injector pump. 6mm elements are found in stock pumps, aren't they? Even though this one does make a little bit more. On a fully rebuilt, fresh, perfect engine. I'm going to put my prediction down right now. I'm going to say it. Despite all the theory and all the theorists, I'm going to say you're wrong. Do you remember on the Engine Masters episodes where they did the big cylinder heads?
Yeah.
And they said, ooh, the big cylinder heads won't make power down low, and it just whipped those other ones in every department. Yes. I think that's what we're going to see today.
Yeah.
I think people are going to learn some stuff today. What are going to be the comments? You know what the main comment's going to be.
Yeah. What about part throttle?
Part throttle. Yeah. Are they suggesting that potentially it could make more power with less fuel because it's part throttle? Because basically part throttle in a diesel just means less throttle on the pump, which means less cc of fuel. So are they saying that at 30 cc of fuel, the stock manifold makes more horsepower than wherever it's gone, than the other one?
Well, we should see it with this test, theoretically, because I mean, engine-wise, between this one and that one.
Ah, yes, I know what you're saying. Because technically this engine, this setup is part throttle compared to the one that we did last time that's just over there, hiding behind that blue box. So, I see exactly what you mean. Yeah. So this engine is part throttle. We found it. Yeah. We've found the part throttle. It's here. It's grey, and it's just less power than the other one.
Yeah. So I mean, if the
standard
one does more horsepower than this, then we'll just have to.
Yes, we'll have to bow down to his better knowledge, and I will. I'm the guy that will do that.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Look at your pump access, instant pump access. So this is a 225, was it 225?
Yeah.
225 horsepower setup. Just from fitting that inlet manifold. The internet said less power with the stock components. Well, this is as close as we're going to get.
Yeah. This is about as mild as
we're ever going to go.
we can do.
Yeah. What is your prediction?
232.
232.
Yeah.
So you believe that the internet may be wrong?
Yeah.
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 I'm going to go 235. It's not that I disbelieve the theory about these long inlet runners. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there to you guys. Who has ever actually seen the gains by a long inlet? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I have never seen it. A diesel application, a turbocharged diesel application, I want to see it. Because there will be a reason that Mercedes did it. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying that today, this is going to be better. I can almost guarantee it. But we'll see. We'll publish the results. We have the equipment. We need to do another back-to-back just to verify it. Right, Paul, tell us the numbers. The internet want to hear it.
Well, you're wrong. The original was 225.
Yeah.
225.7. That's with the standard Mercedes inlet on it.
Yeah.
With our sort of cast inlet on it, it's on 230.9.
Yes.
So
That is nice. So just a hair under 231. And that is at 19, well, it's between 19 and 22 PSI of boost.
Yeah.
Now, it did a different thing to last time. Because last time, when we put our inlet on, the boost went down and the power went up. Well, the power still went up, but the boost went up a smidgen, changed. But we're running a lot less boost with that other setup. We were at like 30 odd PSI.
Yeah.
And with this one, we're like 19, which is low, isn't it? You know, people will be watching this thinking, oh, the horsepower's not very high.
Yeah,
but this, you can't stress how unstressed this engine is. This is literally like 230.9.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sure we could probably leave this on full load and probably go home. It'll still be running on Monday.
Yes.
If it had enough fuel.
Yes. Yes.
It's,
we've done quite a lot of runs as well. So the two with that inlet on were done hot. Obviously, we do this stuff at the same temperatures so that we get good results. But the 225 was kind of like lots of runs over the entire day. So let's just have a look at the crossover, because there is a point, isn't there? There is a point in which, if you zoom in again, you see where the high graph actually crosses under. So the stock manifold is beating my cast manifold between here and here. So between, let's have a look. Someone commented about this actually. Was it Dave Asprey on the? So about 2009 to 3,550 thereabouts, the stock inlet is beating my inlet in power by, I don't know, just hover over there, just see how many horsepower it is. Yeah, literally three horsepower, which it's not a kick in the balls, is it? But so it is. But then at this point it crosses over. But again, if we go lower than that, so if we go down to here to like 2,950, my manifold is beating it again. It crosses back over and mine continues to beat it. It seems to be a sweet spot for that factory manifold is like 2,950 to 3,550. And at that point, you can, if you're running low pressure and low horsepower, you can gain 3 horsepower over my stock manifold. But overall, if we're talking peak numbers and which one makes more power, mine by, what was it, 5 horsepower or 6 horsepower?
Yeah, just over 5.
Being honest, it's pretty negligible, realistically.
Yeah.
We're not, you wouldn't be desperate to go buy this manifold for that 5 horsepower. It's when you go in the bigger turbo setups, it really starts to make a difference when it's higher airflow speeds. But it's the access. I can't keep banging on enough. We've got better, very, very low power. We've got better top end. We've got this tiny bit in the middle where it's 3 horsepower less than the stock one on a tiny turbo setup like this. But that access is just something else. It's nicely made. There is, I think I've seen some other manifolds where you can get that access, but Jesus Christ, I think it'd be better off screwing on a bit of pine. We are definitely going to have a little go with one of them at some point. So yeah, that concludes it. And also, people might be wondering, what is this on the side? And there's the rhyme and reason for this. So if you actually look at where that airbox pulls its air in, it's right above the hot exhaust. Normally, when this is mounted in a Land Rover, this pipe would be connected to a wing vent here, and it'd be sucking cold air into the engine bay. So to try and simulate that, I've put on just a bit of pipe to get it away from the heat. Now also notice I've put this velocity stack, and they do gain some airflow. And I'll tell you something, if I pop this rubber and silicon off here, this engine instantly loses 5 horsepower. But don't worry, the inlets were both tested with the velocity stack. But yeah, get yourself one of those. I mean, that's a lot cheaper than that. Yeah. I'm underselling myself there. Do you know what? I've just thought of another 606 Specialist's next new product. Thing that we need to do for this customer is
print the graph.
Print the graph. So that is the graph. Obviously it's the 225 horsepower one because he is running the regular inlet. I'm quite happy. This is going to be an engine that literally just lasts forever. Yeah. We could squeeze quite a lot more out of them components, but we're not going to. Have you sent it to the printer? So that can go straight in the customer's portfolio. We can put it in the crate and we can send them it via email. Mild boost pressure, mild power, low smoke. That's a happy engine.